Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Atetang nahanusocanti paccupannena nagatam tena vanno pasedati. Okay, dear friends, in Dhamma, you know meaning of Dhamma? Have you heard about Dhamma?
Yes.
Yeah, what is Dhamma? Dhamma means Buddha's teachings, Buddha's doctrines, what Buddha explained. It is Dhamma. And when we discussed Buddhism, there are special three things that is very important to understand at the very beginning. Buddha, the Dhamma and Sangha. Have you heard about these things before? Buddha means the Lord Buddha. Dhamma means his discoveries, his doctrines. And Sangha means his followers. His, like we. You are also Sangha. If you practice this kind of things, especially it includes that the enlightened person, Buddha's noble disciples. And these three things are very important. As much as we know Buddha's doctrines or Dhamma, we have confidence about his disciples, about the Buddha. That is very important. Understanding of these three things are very important. Go on the path of purification. And if you have knowledge about Dhamma, we have confidence that, when we practice these kind of doctrines, we have the results in this life. Mostly when we discuss some religions in the world, their results are hereafter. Their results after death. But the teachings in Buddhism, we receive the results in this life. As much as we can practice this kind of doctrines, we receive the results in this life. That is very important thing. Here, especially we are going to discuss happiness. One day Buddha explained, who is the Buddha? Who is the Buddha? Is he a divine person or human being? Buddha is a god or human being? Buddha was a human being. He was born in India as an ordinary person like we. And in his young age, he did his renunciation, and also he gave up everything. He went to the jungle and he meditated, and after that he enlightened after 6 years. And after he enlightened, he understood the world reality. He explained what he learned, what he practiced, what he discovered. It doesn't relate to him. It doesn't belong to even him. He explained whether he appeared or not in the world, this reality is ever. He understood the world reality. Therefore, what he discovered doesn't belong to him. His teachings can be divided into two. One of them is conventional truth, and the other one is ultimate truth. Buddha's doctrines, we can divide it into two, and first one is conventional. First one is conventional truth, and second one is ultimate truth.
With a T instead of a S.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Conventional truth and ultimate truth. Conventional truth means, many people discuss about the world. In this world, what we see, what we hear. This is the conventional truth. We can see lands, vehicles, persons, some goods, everything. Those are the things, they are related to conventional truth. According to conventional truth, before we were born in the world, there was a world. After we die, the world remains. Can you understand what I say? Yeah, according to conventional truth, before we were born in the world, there was a world. After we die, the world remains. According to conventional truth. There are a lot of teachings in Buddhism about conventional truth. But the special thing that Buddhism explains, the ultimate truth. What is the short meaning about ultimate truth? Mr. Eric.
That there is no, well, the short version to me is that there is no other moment than right now.
Yeah, according to ultimate truth, it explains the impermanence. Impermanence means the world arises with the conditions at the moment, in the present moment. For example, this sound, before I do this sound, it was not here. After I do this one, it doesn't remain here. This is the example for ultimate truth. When we hear something, when we see something, when we smell something, when we keep something, everything that we get through our senses, we have 6 senses. What are the 6 senses? Eyes, ear, nose, mouth, physical body and mind. Those are the things, those are the senses that we get experience about the world. We get experience through these senses about the world. What is the nature of this experience? When we hear something, when we smell something, when we see something, this experience arises suddenly at the moment with the conditions. When conditions are together, we have experience. As soon as conditions go away, the experience ceases. Whether we like or not, whether we believe or not, whether we know or not, this is the reality. By practicing meditation, we are going to be permanent this knowledge about ultimate truth. If we have this idea, if we have this understanding, we can overcome suffering. The happiness that Buddhism explains depends on how much we have overcome suffering. How does suffering arise? When we hear something, when we smell something, these are the experience that we suffer. Then, for example, if somebody has blamed you, as soon as you look at that person, what happens to you? There is a person who has blamed you very strongly. As soon as you see that person, what happens to your mind? You get upset. Sometimes you are sad. Sometimes you are angry. What is the reason? What you get angry? As soon as you look at that person, your mind goes to the previous experience, the past experience. You think that still that incident is happening. But sometimes that person has forgotten that incident, but still you are thinking, still you are in the past with that experience. That blaming It's like that I did like this. He blamed at that moment in the past, but it ceased suddenly. But because of ignorance, because of delusion, we think that still it is happening. As soon as we remember that thing, our mind goes to the past and our mind lives in the past experience. That is why anger comes to our mind. As soon as we look at something, as soon as we hear something, if we have an ability to understand this incident arises this moment with conditions, we can remember anything. Buddhism never says that you should forget your past or future. We never forget past or future. We have good memory. But our mind doesn't run to past without mindfulness. If we have mindfulness, we can remember anything without suffering. If we can overcome this kind of delusion, we can overcome suffering. It means that is the real happiness. Mostly people think that their happiness depends on how much they have achieved, how much they have collected, goods or something. If somebody is very rich, if somebody has a lot of properties, they think that they are very rich, they are happy. But those things don't decide that you are happy or not. Our happiness completely depends on our understanding, our mindfulness. And we do every kind of meditation to go to this position, this ultimate truth. If we have full mindfulness every moment, when we hear something, when we smell something, when we look at something, these things arises this moment, we can remember anything, One of the qualities of our mind is memory. Our mind is very special doctrine that Buddhism explained, that according to Buddhism, one of the qualities of mind is memory. Memory is not the fault. Memory also arises at the moment with conditions. And if we have mindfulness, when we remember something, we can remember anything about our past or future. Then if we have full awareness, now this incident, now this experience arises this moment with conditions, then we can overcome suffering. According to Buddhism, we have nothing to achieve or catch for our happiness. We have to do only thing that overcome suffering. Our suffering depends on our misunderstanding. Our happiness depends on our right understanding. If we can develop mindfulness little by little, then we can overcome suffering. And also we can live in the present moment. If we can live in the present moment with mindfulness, that is the way that we overcome suffering. This is the primary things that Buddha has explained. In this path, there are several steps. This is the highest level advice that Buddha explained to achieve real happiness. And we have to discuss something. If you have any question, you can ask. Mr. David? Okay. Okay. Actually, there are a lot of discourses in Buddhism. Discourses? Yeah, very special doctrines or very special sermons in Buddhism, discourses. Every discourse focuses on this understanding. And little by little we can go forward. We know the result And if we have knowledge about this Dhamma or this kind of advices, then we are ready to practice these things too in this life, because we can see the results. We are hurried to practice this message. Then one day a person came to Buddha and asked, Reverend Sir, why do we advise us to practice something that the results are very long, results are very late. When we do some education or if you do some jobs or something, the results are very soon. But the teachings that you explain is very late. The results are very late. Buddha said very clearly, this is the thing that I explain is the result is very quick. But other things, all other things, the results are very late. For example, if you are going to get a job, you have to wait for a long time. If you want to get a degree from the grade first, you have to spend more than 15 years for your first degree. When you do a master degree, you have to study 1 or 3 or several years. When you are going to get to your doctorate, you have to study at least 4 years. The results are very late. But as soon as we practice these doctrines in our life, the results is very soon. Results are very quick. He explained very clearly, these results are the very quick results in the world. Then especially in Buddhism, at the very beginning on the path of purification, if we can practice loving kindness, that is very important. Loving kindness means we practice kindness for others. We practice friendliness for everybody. We mostly suffer because of anger. If somebody has mistake, we get angry very soon. If somebody has misbehavior, we get angry. By practicing loving kind meditation, the highest result is that as soon as we look at a person in your same age, you think like your own brother or sister. If somebody is elder than you, you think that your mother or father, he is your mother or father. If you see somebody who is very young age, you think that person is your son or daughter. As the result of practicing loving kindness, as soon as we look at a person, we think that person is your close relative. Then we have no anger, although they have mistakes. We have no anger. We try to correct them. We try to advise them, but we never get angry. Because, we know very well when we have angry, the main disadvantages to us, although when we blame him, that person maybe get angry, but the big disadvantages to our life, because our mind is polluted. Our happiness depends on how much we have purified our mind from the negative ideas, the defilements. There are 3 major defilements which disturb our peace of mind. They are greed, anger or ill will or delusion. Greed, ill will, delusion or ignorance. These are the main roots. These are the main defilements which disturb our peace of mind. Our happiness completely depends on how much we have reduced these kind of unwholesome defilements. Then for that, first of all, we should have good knowledge, good understanding. For the understanding, we have to listen to this message again and again, and also we have to reflect on it again and again, and also we have to practice it through meditation. This is the way. And for the happiness, Buddhism explains there are three things. For the real happiness, there are three major steps. The first step is that not to do evil. Do you know evil? Yeah. Not to. What are the evils that disturb our peace of mind? As I explained before, the ill will, delusion, greed, those are the things which disturb our peace of mind. And evil means disturbing others, false speech, killing other persons, and also having some, drinking, alcohol, false speech, rubbish. Those are the things which disturb our peace of mind. As much as you have this knowledge, your important thing, your valuable thing is your mind. Other things are not valuable like that. Our very valuable thing in our life is our mind. The reason is that mind is the reason that whether we are happy or not. Although we have a mind, we are not happy. Our happiness depends on how much we have developed mindfulness with our mind. And the first step is to be happy, not to do evil. And the second one is do good or wholesome deeds. What are the things that we should do for our happiness as wholesome deeds? According to Buddhism, there are three meritorious deeds. There are three meritorious deeds. What they are? First one is generosity, practicing generosity. If you offer something to others, then your mind is very pure and calm. Actually, in the West society, it is so difficult to do something, but in Asian countries, we people always are generous. Because even when we eat something, if somebody is near, although we don't know him, we are ready to give him something. That is our tradition. Without giving something to others, we never eat. That is our tradition. When there are some persons with me, although I am very hungry, before I am going to eat something, I am ready to give something to others. We ask them, if you like something, although they don't like, we ask them. Do you like something? We ask them. That is our tradition. Without asking others, we never eat. Although we are very hungry. Yeah. Practicing generosity is one of the meritorious deeds as good for our happiness, peace of mind. The second one is the morality or sila. Morality. Morality means discipline. Discipline our speech, discipline our behavior. That is also very important. If we have good discipline in our life, it means we have no mistakes. Nobody can criticize us. Nobody can blame us. If we have good discipline, that is very important. It is more important than generosity. Discipline. And the third one is the meditation. In this level, we do only primary meditation. It says in Buddhism, samatha meditation, tranquility meditation. We trained our mind to keep some particular object with wholesome object for a long time. The nature of our mind goes here and there. Until our mind goes here and there, even though we are very rich, even though we are well educated, we have no real happiness. Although we are very poor, if we are clever to keep our mind with tranquility meditation, we are rich in happiness. And that is why we practice meditation. In meditation, especially we train our mind. We don't give a chance to our mind to go here and there. We are clever to control it. And if sometimes some defilements come to our mind through our senses, we don't give a chance to come to those defilements to our inside. We reject them. We reject those kind of negative ideas from our mind. By practicing meditation, we do these things. According to Buddhism, for the happiness, first of all, we have to overcome evil. The second step is that we have to practice good deeds in our life. As much as we practice wholesome deeds in our life, when we think about our activities that we have done as merits, then we are so happy when we think about our life. According to Buddhism, practicing good, practicing merit means decorating your mind. We decorate our mind. When we offer something to others, that people have some advantages, but more advantages are in our life. You know, when we go to the mirror, when we do makeup to our body, then we can see a good picture in the mirror. When we do some good deeds such as generosity, we decorate our mind. Then our mind is like a shadow, like a mirror. Then if our mind is polluted, the picture, the mirror, the image in the mirror is not clear. It is not good. When we are happy, when our mind is very pure, if our mind is purified, then the image in the mirror is pleasant and calm. That is why we have to practice these kind of deeds in our day-to-day life for the happiness. Not only earning money or not only go forward with education. If we can think about our activities as merit during a day, especially Buddhism explains that if you take care of your parents, that is one of the great merits. You know, every good qualities depends on gratitude. You know gratitude? Yeah. Every good qualities, how much you have peace of mind depends on how much you have practiced gratitude. Every good things depends on gratitude. If you take care of your parents, that is your gratitude. Even if you clean your house, that is also your gratitude. If you clean your body, that is also your gratitude. If you do your job very well, honestly, for your payment, that is also your gratitude. If you wash your vehicle, that is also your gratitude. That is why Buddhism says very clearly, every good qualities depends on gratitude. The root of gratitude is helping to our parents. That is very important. And however, these three things are very important for our peace of mind, for our happiness. And as much as you have practiced these meritorious deeds in your life, it means you have a lot of things to be happy. This is the second step. And the third step is the very, very important that Buddhism says, you know. The third step is here we practice our mind, we clean our mind from defilements. This is the highest way of purifying our mind. And when we are going to purify our mind, first of all we should have clear knowledge. How do we practice our mind? And here the first step is of practicing meditation or practicing to purify our mind is practicing samatha meditation or tranquility meditation. The nature of our mind that I mentioned before, it goes here and there. And by practicing meditation for purifying our mind, we keep our mind particular objects such as loving kindness and especially breathing meditation. I think you have experience about breathing meditation. When we breathe in and out, we put our attention near the nose. Our mind doesn't go following the breathing, but we put our attention in this place. When we breathe in, we know very well, now I breathe in. When we do breathe in as a natural breathing, when breathe in and out, we know very well, now I breathe in and out. Little by little, by practicing any kind of meditation techniques that Buddhism says, we practice mindfulness. Mindfulness means practicing the ability of living in the present moment. We mostly live in the past or future. We live a few times for a day in the present moment. But our happiness depends on how long we live in the present moment. It doesn't sound you have to forget your past or future. When you think next day your schedule, you may have very good attention. Now I read my mind. When you go to a previous experience, you know very well, now I read my mind. Then without mindfulness, if your mind goes past or future, it means you have lost your happiness. You have lost living present moment. Then again and again by practicing meditation, we try to practice our mind living in the present moment. Especially, not only sit in meditation, when you do something, if you can do it consciously with mindfulness, little by little we are ready to practice mindfulness. When we say something, when we do something, when we read something, if we have full mindfulness, full awareness, attention in the present moment, that is the way, that is the path that we practice mindfulness. Then especially, breathing meditation is very important, practicing mindfulness. And also, not only mindfulness, we have to, we should have another thing, that wisdom or intelligence. What is the wisdom that Buddhism says? How you can become a wise person? How are we wise? What is the reason whether we wise or not?
Maybe the 5 precepts?
Yeah, there are very special doctrines in Buddhism, that 5 aggregates. We will discuss later, right? It is a big one. And however, we can say it as very shortly, mind and body. Mind and body. Mind and body, we usually think that our mind and body is continuously goes. From that we were born and to our death, we think that our body goes continuously and our mind goes continuously. It is true according to conventional truth, but according to this level, according to wisdom, our mind always arises and ceases. Our body always changes. That is the nature of our body. And also our mind also, every moment it changes. Actually, understanding of this kind of nature is not difficult. What is a difficult thing? When you go to the mirror, you know mirror? When you are here, you can see a person here, same person. When you go to the mirror, if you think your mind is impermanent, if you think your mind is changes, if you think your body is impermanent, actually it is like we consider that this person is impermanent, this mirror is impermanent. Understanding of impermanence of this person and mirror is easy. What is the difficult thing that we can understand? This shadow, this thing is impermanence. What is the impermanence of this person? You can see a person in the mirror because of this mirror, because of this person, because of light, because of your eye. All of them are together, you can see a person. When this person go away, the shadow is not here. When mirror is turn outside, then there is no person. This person appears here as soon as this person is in front of the mirror. And also lights are here. When there is a mirror here, you can see your picture. But when we have no light, there is no shadow here. This person in the mirror depends on these conditions. Our whole experience also like that. When you hear something, when you see something, when conditions are together, you can see some kind of experience in your life. But that experience is sudden. That experience arises this moment. It doesn't come to the past from it doesn't come to the present from the previous experience. And it doesn't go to the future from the present. This is the real thing, this is the real way that we live in the present moment. Now you know there are some persons, some philosophers, some religious leaders, they have said that forget your past, forget your future, live in the present moment. But Buddhism never says that. We should not forget past or future. We should understand the nature of our experience. Our whole experience arises this moment with the conditions. When conditions are together, we have some kind of experience. We get only one experience through one sense at once. When you hear something, your other senses are dead. But the senses, the nature of senses, they are very fast. Because they are very fast, you think that all things are together. But one sense creates one time. When your eye is alive, then other 5 senses are dead. When your eye is active, then other organs, other senses are dead. Then because our mind is very fast, we usually think that all experiences are together at the moment, but we get only one experience at one time from one sense. Then if you have full awareness about this experience, you may get old age. You may go to old age. You may get sick. But this shadow never goes to die. This shadow never goes to old age. This shadow never goes to sicknesses. If we have this understanding, That means we have overcome suffering. We have overcome illness. We have overcome old age. Even we have overcome death. Do you believe? This is the highest understanding according to Buddhism as wisdom. This is the ultimate reality. Whenever we have to understand in our wisdom, with practicing mindfulness and wisdom, this is the final goal that a person should have for the real happiness. This is only path. On this path, we have to practice these steps. First of all, we have to overcome evils from our life as much as we can. And second thing, we have to develop our good deeds. We have to develop good deeds, merits or wholesome deeds in our life. And also here, in this level, first of all, we should have morality or good discipline in our speech and behavior. And if we can practice again and again mindfulness and wisdom, gradually we are going to this highest understanding. For that, mindfulness is very, very important. It doesn't sound that we go away from our life. We do our all activities in our life. If you teach, you do it very well. If you are getting ready for your doctorate, you do it. If you take care of your parents or somebody, you do it very well. You don't neglect them. You don't give up your duties and responsibilities. We do very well them before we do first time. We never forget, we never neglect our duties and responsibilities when we are on this path. We do our duties in our day-to-day life, but we know very well my real happiness depends on this path. Other things are impermanent. If you have somebody, if you have our children, someday they go away. If we have parents, someday they go old age, someday they die. Even though we have a good appearance body, very beautiful body, it also going to old age. Everything that we have is going to be impermanent. That is the nature of all things that we have now. We do our responsibilities, but we know very well our real happiness depends on practicing this path. As much as we can practice this message, little by little, we are growing up with happiness. But although we have a lot of facilities of persons in our life, day by day, are we going to happy or worry? Day by day, we are losing our real happiness. When we were very young age, we were more happier. But now, although we are well educated, we have lost our happiness. Although we think that now we are very rich or well educated, but day by day, we are going away from the real happiness. This is the real way that we reach to the real happiness. That is why always Buddhism encourages us to practice this path. This is the path that we practice in our life for the real happiness, receiving the results as much as we can. Have any question you can ask? And this actually, day by day, when we practice meditation, we should know, there are some young people, although they are spending their life, their household life, they also practice this message. It doesn't disturb their family background, family life. Now we have attachment with our appearance. When our appearance goes to bad, goes to worse, sometimes we go away. Now, if we have this knowledge, if now we have some attachment with somebody, when that person has some illness or something, actually we have more kindness, more compassion, if we have this understanding. But most of people in the world, their connection, their relationship depends on their property, their appearance, their physical body. But here, with this understanding, we are together with mind, with understanding. That relationship is more stronger than the other relationship which has no good understanding. That is why, in Buddha's period, there were some persons who practiced this path. There were some persons who were at the age of 80. Both wife and husband came to Buddha, and they explained to the Buddha, Reverend Sir, we are practicing this message. Now we are very old age. We have no any problem with each other. We lived happily. We lived with happiness. We wish to come together in next life too. Not only this life. After death, in next life also, we are ready to live with each other. That is why, some persons may think that if we are on this path, our relationship may go away. But it doesn't happen. That our relationship may be very stronger than we had. That is why this is the qualities that we develop our spirit. When we practice these kind of doctrines, it means we develop our spirit. Our mind, our spiritual capacity goes away. It means, now we are spending some results that we collected in our previous lives, whether we like or not. Now we are here. Now we have this human life. We have good appearance. We have intelligence because we have practiced good wholesome deeds in our previous lives. That is why we are here as human beings with intelligence. Then when we practice this kind of qualities in our life, it means we increase our spirit. That spirit can bring us happiness. And also that spiritual development can avoid some kind of negative results. That is also very important. If you have some sufferings or something in your life, if you practice these kind of qualities in your life, you can overcome those difficulties in your life. The results are visible, not only hereafter. The results, as the practicing of these qualities, we can receive the results in this short life. That is the interesting thing. And day by day, we develop our happiness by practicing these good qualities. When we practice happiness about Buddhism, actually today we didn't discuss about some deep doctrines in Buddhism. We usually discuss very deep advices in Buddhism, but here because of you, we didn't discuss some deep doctrines. However, we discuss very primary teachings in Buddhism. Again, I am going to explain what I taught you. When we discuss Buddha's message, there is some kind of order. That is also very important. The first thing is knowledge. Knowledge is very important. That is why we are discussing about the steps little by little. Knowledge is very important. According to knowledge, we have to reflection. Reflection means, according to knowledge, we have to think it again and again. When you are here, you are very sensitive, you have good attention, but if you go away, if you forget everything is useless. That is why we have to remember it again and again. If we mention those kind of steps, then we have something to practice. So reflection or reflecting also very important. The next one is the practice. What is the practice? What is the practice? There are 3 steps in practice. First one is virtue. The second one that I explained before, tranquility. The third one is impermanence. Impermanence or insight or wisdom. This is the steps specially that we have to practice. Day by day, we try to develop our knowledge about this path again and again. There are a lot of doctrines in Buddhism. There are a lot of discourses. How do we practice, and also what are the steps that we reach? That we reach. That is also very important. According to knowledge, we have to think it again and again in our day-to-day life. When we drive, when we walk, if we can practice mindfulness. When you walk somewhere, if you drive, if you do it consciously in the present moment, it means you are practicing mindfulness. But the thing is, when we do something, our mind going here and there. That is why we have no peace of mind. Then, if we have full awareness, what we do in the present moment, that is the real way for the happiness. And also here that we practice, virtue means morality or discipline in our speech and behavior. And tranquility means mindfulness, and impermanence means, what is the impermanence that Buddhism says? Not Buddhism. Generally, what is your idea about impermanence? What is the impermanence that you already know?
All sorts of different our lives, physical lives.
Yeah.
Basically everything's impermanent.
Yeah. For example, now we are going to old age, or these things going to destroy. That is the nature of impermanence. Actually, that is the common meaning. That is the very simple meaning of impermanence. According to Buddhism, there is a very deep meaning in impermanence. That is the very primary level. But there are special advice in Buddhism that what is the real meaning of impermanence. That I have given you the example with the mirror. When there is some, for example, some water, water is here. Then you see here. You see this water. You can see your mirror here. There is a water basin here. Then you keep your head here. You can see a mirror, shadow on the water. Then you can reflect, my body is going to old age, it is going to die, it is subject to die. It means you are thinking about your body. You can reflect on about water. Someday water is going to destroy. This basin also going to destroy. It is also easy to understand. What is the difficult thing that we can understand? This shadow. This shadow arises at the moment as soon as you look at there. This is the impermanence that Buddhism says. This shadow arises with these conditions. With the light, sunlight, your face, the water basin, all things are together. You can see a mirror in the water. If one reason is go away, you can see a mirror here. This is the impermanence that Buddhism says. Before you go to this basin, your shadow was not here. After you go away, here there is no shadow. This shadow depends on these conditions, such as this sound. This sound doesn't come to the present from the past. This sound doesn't go to the future from the present. This sound arises and ceases in this present moment. This shadow also like that. This sound arises in this moment when all those conditions together. This is the understanding of impermanence that Buddhism says. If you can understand every experience you have through your senses like this, what happens to you? Then we have no big attachment, we have no greed, we have nothing to catch. When we get something in our hand, that experience also in this moment, we get only by our hand. When we see something, that picture comes to your mind from your eyes. We get only the colors. When we listening some sound, only this sound comes to your mind. But because of ignorance, when you see something, you think that we can go here, we can hear this one, we can smell this one, all things. We think that because of ignorance, all things are here. But when we have experience about something, we have only one experience through one sense. For example, when we do this sound, we know very well this sound doesn't belong to this table. This sound doesn't belong to this pen. This sound doesn't belong to my ears. But there is a sound. This sound doesn't belong to this table. This sound doesn't belong to this pen. This sound doesn't belong to my ears. But there is a sound with the conditions. Our all experience also like that. When we look at something, this shadow, this picture doesn't belong to my eyes. This picture doesn't belong to wall. But there is a picture here. This picture doesn't belong to even my mind. Then all these conditions are together, we can see a picture. Picture is only seen, not sound. This is a very deep concept in Buddhism, but this is the reality. This is not the Buddha's creation. That is the interesting thing. Buddha explained this is the reality. We have to understand this reality. If we can understand this reality, we have nothing to get angry. We have nothing to get greedy. Then if we have this understanding, we know very well every experience arises in this moment with our mind, with the conditions. This is the highest understanding that we have. According to Buddhism, our intelligence, our wisdom depends on how much we are clever to understand this reality. Someday, our knowledge going to be certain with this knowledge by practicing this path little by little. Then at the very beginning we may have good discipline in our speech and behavior. Then we practice our mind for mindfulness, and with full mindfulness, full awareness, we reflect on this reality again and again. Then we know very well this world arises in this moment with the conditions, like this sound. When we see something, when we hear something, when we smell something, with every sense, if we get some experience, this is the reality of this experience. If we have this understanding, we have nothing to get angry. We have nothing to get greedy. No big attachment. But it doesn't sound that we don't do our responsibilities. As parents, as our wives, husbands, we do very well our duties. We respect others. We develop our kindness. Now we help with only clothes or food. But if we have this knowledge, after this knowledge, we take care of others not only with food or clothes. The highest things that we offer others, what is that? Knowledge, this understanding. If we offer this understanding to others, that is the highest thing, that is the valuable thing that we offer others. Now we do only food or clothes or something. If we can offer this knowledge to a person, that is the highest way that we offer others. Because if we have this knowledge, we have overcome suffering. Nobody can disturb our peace of mind. Our skillfulness, our proficiency depends on how much other persons or things can disturb our peace of mind. Our success, our proficiency, our skillfulness depends on not how much we have money, how much we have education. Our success completely depends on how much external persons or things can disturb our peace of mind. If we have this understanding, nobody can disturb our peace of mind. What is the reason? As soon as we have experience, we know very well, this experience arises this moment, it suddenly goes to past. Then how we get angry? If we have this knowledge, for example, when you go to the mirror, as soon as you go to the mirror, you can see your figure in the mirror. After you leave the mirror, you know very well your mirror is not there, your shadow is not there. Do you have big attachment about your figure in the mirror? Do you have some attachment about your figure in the mirror? Never. What is the reason? Do you afraid of that somebody disturb your figure in the mirror? In your room? You never. What is the reason? You are understanding. But the other thing, some cat or dog, when they go to the mirror, what happens to them? They think that somebody is there. After they go away, they think still somebody is there. They again go to look at that shadow as another person. They are afraid of that person, but we never do it. What is the reason? Because of our understanding, our intelligence, our wisdom. That is why Buddhism explains us again and again practice this message. Then we can see the results through our life, not from through outside, through Buddha or any other person. Buddha explained very clearly, I am only a teacher. I can save you. I am not a savior. I am only a teacher. Going on the path is your duty. If you can go on this path, this is the liberation, this is the freedom, this is the path of happiness. Then if we have this knowledge, if we know very well about this experience that arises at the moment and ceases at the moment, then little by little we overcome suffering. Then here Buddhism says, as an intelligent person, we have to practice only two. There are a lot of doctrines in Buddhism, although there are a lot of advices in Buddhism, we have to practice only two. It is very easy. Mindfulness and wisdom. Mindfulness means try to focus your mind particular object always. Try to do everything with consciousness, with awareness. As soon as our mind goes here and there, we should have an ability to understand, now my mind goes here and there. Going here and there, the nature of the mind is going here and there. As soon as mind goes here and there, if we have an ability to understand, now mind goes here and there, then we are ready to control it. Then this is the path that we have to practice for the real happiness. For that, meditation is very important. Loving kind meditation, breathing meditation. Try to practice little by little, at least 5 minutes per day. It is enough. At the very beginning, try to practice 5 minutes per day. It is enough, but we have to do it continuously. This week, try to practice 5 minutes, and other weeks 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Little by little, we have to increase it. That is the secret of success. Okay, thank you for your comment. If you have any question, you can ask again. If you can read this handout, our sermon is founded in this handout. If you can read this handout, you can get more idea, more understanding. You are so lucky to listen to this message. And also, okay, Buddha doesn't belong to only Buddhists. He belongs to everybody who are intelligent. Actually, in this period, we are so lucky to listen to this message. Mr. David, he is a professor in Cal State, and Mr. Eric, he is a musician. Actually, they are coming here for a long time, and they practice meditation. He has been to India too, and practice. Mr. David, he has gone to Goenka Meditation Center. Goenka it is a very famous meditation center in every country. Goenka meditation centers, and they are also practicing some doctrines, and not only meditation, but they practice generosity too. They offer something to others every moment, and they help others, and as much as they can. Okay, I am very happy to meet you in this class, and I wish you all of them. And at the very beginning, we start the discussion with the praying, and end of the sermon, we usually transfer the merits to guardian deities and our departed relatives. The Buddhist tradition is that when you do any kind of merit, that then after the merits, end of the events, we transfer the merits for our departed relatives. who are passed away. That's our tradition. We believe that there are some persons in the world, they hope some merit from their relatives who are living in the world. That is why, after any kind of meritorious act, that is a tradition that we transfer the merits to them. And now the time for that, by practicing meditation, by listening to this message, we accumulated a lot of meritorious deeds. By the power of all these merits, may our departed relatives receive these merits, and finally they attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to our departed relatives. Recite in the stanza. Idam me ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. By the power of all these merits, may guardian deities and angels receive these merits, and receiving these merits, may they keep their eye on you too. May they protect you. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to divine guardian deities and angels too. Ettavata ca amhehi sambadang punya sampadam sabbe devanumodanto sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata ca amhehi sambadang punya sampadam sabbe devanumodanto sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata ca amhehi sambadang punya sampadam sabbe devanumodanto sabba sampatti siddhya. By the power of all these merits, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no problems come to you. May you be successful everywhere, every moment. May all of you attain final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.